Hey everyone, I'm going to go ahead and show you how to do signal flow on the Audient console. So let's take a look. First of all, I've got a microphone hanging out over here. I've got that signal coming from the studio up to the Audient mic input 12. I'm going to make my way over to 12. First thing I want to do is grab the preamp. Remember, in the dark gray section. So we'll turn that guy up. Now this microphone is also a condenser microphone, so I want to actually hit the phantom power button hanging out right below the preamp. So I'm going to turn the preamp down and hit phantom power and then adjust that preamp up. And I see signal right away coming in. So the next thing to do is to turn up the input fader, which again is the small short fader, unity gain at 0. After that, I want to assign the microphone to a bus. So remember, I've got 24 buses on this 36 channel console. So I'm going to route this thing to any bus that I want to go to. 1 through 12, if I hit the shift button down here, I can get through 13 to 24. So I could go to bus 1, and then we would see the signal up here on Pro Tools on track 1. We also see that same signal down here on the console itself. I'm going to keep it simple for us today, and instead of going to 1, I'm going to go almost direct here down to 12. So that gives us signal on track 12 of Pro Tools. Then I want to hear it, so I'm going to go to the monitor section and turn up the monitor fader. Now I don't know how loud to turn it up yet, so I'm going to bring it up to unity gain. Don't forget the ever important mix button hanging out right here. So I'm going to go ahead and hit the mix button, which sends the signal to the stereo bus. Head down here to our stereo master fader. That thing all the way up. All the way up is unity gain on that thing. And then the next step is to go to our switching bank. So we need to go here to our switching bank where it says tape 1, tape 2, tape 3, and make sure we choose the mix button. And when we hit mix, we can see that we get our stereo ACN. So the final thing we need to do is turn up the control room volume, which is hanging out right here, labeled main monitor. Get a little bass sound going on. Alright, so the next thing we need to do is get that signal in the headphones. So I'm going to go back to channel 12. Go up to our aux sends. Remember, we have 14 aux sends on this console. We have aux A and B that have been designated for headphones. So on channel 12 here, remember, we're going to use pre-monitor fader. So I'm going to use a pre-monitor fader send by hitting pre. Turn up aux A. I'll go about halfway with that. For every aux mixer, we have aux masters hanging out here. So I want to turn aux A master up. Then to get it to the headphone amp, that's where this foldback section is. Foldback A is mix A on the headphone amp. Foldback B is mix B on the headphone amp. So what I'm going to do is to get aux A to foldback A, I'm going to choose aux A on the left and right, and then turn up this master. If I turn up my control room volume and then hit solo, I can hear that I'm sending. I could also go over and listen to the headphones to hear if I'm hearing something out of the phone. So that's how we do headphones. And then reverb. Down here in the patch bay is where all of your aux mixers live. What you're going to do is grab the output of the aux. So for example, aux 1. You're going to take it down to the tie line, the input of the external reverb. In this case, it's tie line 9. And I'm going to grab the stereo output, so that's going to be 57 and 58. And I'm going to return those up here to these stereo inputs, either 1, 2, 3, or 4. So I'm going to go to the left input for stereo 1 and to the right input for stereo 1. That will return aux 1 to this stereo 1 return. So what we want to do for reverb is go back to channel 12. We're going to go to aux 1, and I'm going to turn that up about halfway. I'm going to go to my aux 1 master, turn that up. If I take a look over here on the Yamaha, I can see I'm getting input level to the Yamaha. And then remember, that signal has to come back into the console, and that comes back in at the console at our effects returns. So I have it patched the output of the Yamaha into stereo return number 1. So I'm going to hit the mix button, turn up the level, and there's the verb. Now if I want less verb, I'll come back to my aux send on channel 12, and to determine how much I want. Finally, if I want to put the reverb in the headphones, I'll go to that stereo effects return, and remember we have foldback A and B hanging out there, so I turn those up, and now I've just put reverb in the headphones, which I can hear by soloing foldback A. And that is signal flow on the Audient console.